At WCTCAM.com. Jersey moves fast. Join the show that keeps you one step ahead. Jersey Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
It is 7:37. Welcome back to Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Sometime between now and 8 o'clock, you'll hear the voice of Manager Emeritus Sparky Lyle, and that will be your cue to call in to maybe win the family 4-pack of tickets to the game on August 19th, Veterans of America Day. Just be the 14th caller, and you'll get the 4 tickets to the game. And as I mentioned, you will hear Sparky sometime between now and 8 o'clock. Special guest who is joining me, she's standing by on the Miller Lite Jersey Central Newsmaker hotline. She is with a company based in Piscataway called Medina Tactical Dynamics, and they do remarkable work in training our first responders and our military and police and fire, and even individuals when it comes to self-defense and preparing yourself for sort of worst-case scenario situations. My guest is an instructor and a situational awareness specialist with the company. Let's welcome in Dawn Breslin to WCTC this morning. Dawn, good morning. It's Bert Barron. How are you?
Good morning, Bert. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's a crazy world we live in, Dawn. You just never know from day to day, hour to hour, what's going to be happening around the corner in terms of attacks and craziness and just any mayhem that could kind of break out in any second. There has to have been an increase in demand for your services in recent years. That's not a stretch to say that, is it?
No, not at all. Unfortunately, we are seeing more of even, something like active shooter. It's actually rare now not to see something of that sort on your TV every day. And school is coming back in here shortly. So, unfortunately, we're probably going to start seeing more of that on our TVs as well. So we have actually put together even more courses for, first responders and individuals throughout the country.
Is something as active shooter, is that something that you sort of give some detailed and specialized training in? Because it seems like, not necessarily around here, thank goodness, I'll knock on something, but you'll hear about somewhere in the country, a shooter is attacking a hospital or attacking a newspaper in Maryland not long ago, or unfortunately it happens in schools every now and then. But active shooter training is something that your group focuses on, and you provide some training on that?
Absolutely. We actually just put together even a basic situational awareness course for fire and EMS. I have been a police officer, and I actually live in Maryland. So some of our instructors actually live more throughout the country. We have one in Wisconsin, one in Florida. So we do live throughout the country. Jose Medina, our owner, actually lives in Piscataway, and he's a police officer in that area. But I actually got into EMS after being a police officer and saw a definite discord between situational awareness for EMS and actual, other first responders. They teach us situational awareness on a somewhat basic level, but they never really tell us what makes a scene safe and unsafe. So we actually just put together a course, and we're trying to get that off the ground and teach that a basic situational course to fire and EMS. We actually have medical care under fire, which kind of follows along the lines of TECC, which is tactical emergency casualty care. We just put together an integrated first responder course, which brings together first responders from all across anything like from police, EMS, and telecommunications, our 911 dispatchers, which, if you're out on the road, they are basically your lifeline. We have school active shooter courses and even corporate active shooter courses.
It's remarkable. I can't imagine a situation, Dawn, and we're speaking with Dawn Breslin this morning here on WCTC, and she's with Medina Tactical Dynamics and teaching about self-defense and situational awareness. A situation where a fire person, firefighter, or an EMT or a first aid squad worker is arriving onto a scene to help people and save lives and try to maybe perform some life-saving operations or whatnot. And they're coming under fire. They're putting their own lives at risk. I mean, they're looking out for active shooters and dodging bullets while they're trying to, help people that have been shot or have been injured or have been involved in fires. And sometimes they come under fire. That, to me, is unfathomable, Dawn. It really is.
Absolutely. And, EMS and fire are not even used to that sort of mindset. Unfortunately, they came into this to help people, just like you said. They came into this to go and help people that need them. And they feel like, these are people that need them. Well, now they're becoming, the target just as much as police officers are. What we found is that actual EMS workers are being violently attacked 14 times more 14% more, I should say, than a police officer.
Wow.
So whether that is a patient, unfortunately, we go into situations where the patient is high, the patient is overdosed, whatever the case may be, and we're not prepared for that sort of thing. We're not prepared to go in and combat anybody. We haven't learned self-defense. They don't teach you that when you're in an academy. When you're an EMS provider, you're there to help the patient.
Right.
So, a lot of our EMS providers, they are taught scene safety, quote unquote, but it's very basic, and they don't really go into detail on what makes it a safe or unsafe scene. And our EMS providers are, unfortunately, they're, getting a flashback on that. So, a lot of them have been injured on court cases, and, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to escape. They don't know if they can escape because there is such thing called, patient abandonment. And, a lot of them are afraid that they're abandoning their patient. But, it really comes down to you have the right to leave if it's unsafe for you. So, we're trying to get that out there to them and just teach them a little bit about how to defend themselves and ways that they can defend themselves, but also keep their job so that they're not going overboard and becoming the aggressor as well.
Yeah, I would urge anybody listening today, if you're involved or perhaps you manage an EMT squad or you're in charge of one of the fire departments or firehouses here in Jersey, reach out to this company because the training that you will receive is life or death, not only for the people that you're helping, but for the actual personnel that are on the scene there trying to save lives. And this is just valuable information that you'll learn. Dawn, do you do weapons training? Not that a lot of people are walking around carrying firearms in New Jersey, but is weapons training a part of this or some hand-to-hand things that people will learn?
We absolutely do. We teach weapons handling for individuals, police, anybody that wants to learn weapons handling, because if you're going to handle a firearm, we prefer you to do it safely. But as far as EMS providers, so far, most places are not arming our EMS providers. So what we do teach them is, you do have some quote unquote things you can use as tools, but if you have to use them as something to defend yourself, you can do so. So there are things that they carry in everyday situations that they can use to defend themselves against an attack on them.
Okay. Easiest way to defend yourself when you're approached head on. Someone's coming for you. Let's say it's a male. What do you do? Do you go for the kneecap? Do you go for the nose? What's the best way if someone's kind of just rushing at you? Is there a textbook answer for that?
There really isn't. It really depends on how they're coming at you. But we do certainly have ways that they could do so. EMS providers, we actually encourage to do what they have to do and escape. They are not to control anybody to the point, like hold them down until the police get there. Their number one job is to escape. They are not police officers, so we don't teach them to, detain anyone until they get there or anything like that. But, actually what we try to teach people is, don't get in that situation in the first place. If you have great situational awareness and watch what's going on, we teach you clues to show you, this is not going the way you want it to go. Maybe you should back out, find an excuse, have a word like, blueberry pancake, something that somebody else doesn't know, and that's your code word for your teammates on, let's get the heck out of here, something's not right.
Yeah.
So we try to teach them good situational awareness to keep them out of the situation. And, but we do have ways to absolutely defend yourself if somebody rushes you. It's just more of, we like to show it instead of just telling them how to do it because, I can tell you all day different things, but my biggest question, the biggest question we have is, well, what if they do this? And I say, well, how'd you get yourself in the first place? You should be watching out what's going on before that.
Yep, you're right. How does someone get some more information, Dawn, and maybe take some of these classes here and kind of get the process started and getting this training?
Our website is actually www.A-P as in Paul, C 360zone.com, or they can give me a call at 443-824-4342.
All right, good information. Dawn Breslin, thank you for your time this morning. And if you're training Jersey police and our first responders to defend themselves and to be safe in dangerous situations, this is great work that you're doing. So please continue doing so. And it was great speaking with you today, okay?
Great speaking with you. Thank you for having us on.
You bet. Thank you so much. All right, Dawn Breslin, my guest on the